and Coach Collins and Janelle.
What's up, man? What's going on, man?
Hey, I'm blessed, Coach Collins. How you doing?
Hey, you're gonna have a good
I'm doing
conversation.
well, man.
I'm looking for a good conversation. Now, yesterday we had a very interesting show yesterday. Hey, folks, we're gonna take some calls today, man. Yesterday, it was a special show for me. I didn't take any calls yesterday because we had some things that was going on. Uh, we had some things going on in the world of entertainment with Nelly and the what you call the Lunatics and particularly him and Ali is really going at it about some things. So I wanted to make sure we get this thing rolling today. We're gonna have a good conversation. We're gonna really have a good conversation. What up? You know what I'm saying? So Facebook family, I'm glad you're gonna join us. Yesterday, folks, I'm telling you, it was a very interesting conversation, and I'll talk about. I neglected my Detroit family. Fidel, apologize, man. My girl Redbone, apologize. James, I apologize. But it was just important for me to make sure I got that on because it's national news all over the place, right? It's big time national news what's going on. So I wanted to make sure we talk about it. So what it's for some of you folks who didn't hear yesterday, Nelly and the Ali and the Saint Lunatics, they're all in this big situation about uh, payments and all kinds. It's real nasty. It's unfortunate because these guys all started together and they was doing their thing together. So it really is unfortunate. You hate to see that, but it happened. You know, I mean, think about it. Diana Ross, she left the Supremes, right? You know,
Yeah.
Smokey Robinson, he left the Miracles. You know what I'm saying? So it happens, right, JC?
Well, let me say this.
Yeah,
Also,
unfortunately, it
Hold, hold,
happens more than
hold,
we
hold
would
on.
like it to.
All right, hold on. Oh, so let me let Janelle know how it rolled, right? So Janelle is one of
okay.
my co-hosts, and we call him the intellectual because he's very intellectual, and he's got an interesting
Uh-oh.
background. So we're going to tell you that. So what we do, um, we roll. I'll call a name, and he'll jump in the conversation. He got something to say, you can jump in the conversation, or we try to get some kind of continuity going. So what I'll do, I'll go like first. I'll go with JC. I'll call him Coach. Coach, you do what your thing, Coach, and then we come to you, Jay. So what is your thought, Coach?
Well, unfortunately, particularly sometimes in entertainment and even in sports, man, people just fall out of love. You know what I mean? New Edition, they had issues with Bobby Brown, and so you go on and on, man. It always sometimes has a sad ending, man. But it's kind of sad because those guys, man. I mean, they put St. Louis on the map, man. So it's kind of sad that we're going through these disagreements, with the whole St. Lunatic and Nelly group.
No doubt about it. What's your take, Janelle?
Well, I believe that there was a lot of athletes in the past, like Hitman, who just recently passed away. He the first one that really woke my eyes up to St. Louis. But Spinks, that is, I should say. And as far as them breaking up, I remember the deal that happened with En Vogue. That was a very unique deal. They did real well with one another, and it wasn't long before the money issue came up. Once the money issue came up, it split the group up. It happens to the best of them. Death Row Records, it happened. Dr. Dre, I can show you a contract where Dr. Dre left Death Row and sold all his royalties and everything for 1 cent. 1 cent to start all over.
Oh wow, wow. Well, I'm sure these guys ain't selling all their stuff for 1 cent. I'm sure that ain't gonna happen. I mean, I am sure that is not gonna happen. Hey, and before we go forward, man, I want to send my condolences out to my girl, man. She passed, man. I thought she was so beautiful, lady. She was with the Supremes. Mary Wilson died today, age 76, and they just had an interview on her a couple days ago, and a few days ago, and she was just so beautiful, man, and 76 years old, and wasn't sick. I mean, very vibrant. It's just unfortunate that we're going to lose people, and we're going to continue to lose icons. And she was a very, all I've known was a nice woman, So that's a tough deal on that one. Thanks. Let me say what's up to my son Jalen. What's up, Jay Bird, my man? Him and my man Jeremiah is checking us out. So, folks, you got any comments? You can go on Demetrius Johnson Facebook, and you can go ahead and log in and send me some comments about anything that you want to do. So it's gonna be good. Hey, Michael, we may be getting a call from that principal Darby today. He may call between 7:10 and 7:15. Let me know if he call in. That'd be good to have him on. Hey, let's get down to some business, though. Let's get down to some business, y'all. We didn't talk about it yesterday, but I've been talking about it for a while in St. Louis. All right, this violence that's going on in our community, man. It is at another level, folks. I mean, it is at another level. It is something that we got to do. We all, if we're not doing anything, let me just say this, folks. If you're not doing nothing about this violence, it is in every urban city in the freaking country. That same thing is happening. But let me just say what's interesting. What is interesting is that the urban community now is going to the girls. Ladies are getting murdered like men. I mean, I'm going to start with you, Coach. This is a disturbing trend, man. And then they're killing babies. These clowns out here are killing babies. How in the hell you kill a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old? A baby has nothing to do with the indiscretions of their mom or the daddy. And you kill them. Coach, jump in on it.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's they used to say it used to be some kind of code in the street. You know what I mean? No family members, no babies, no women. You know what I mean? But these young folks now, man, there is no code, man. And the one thing that I always wondered too, DJ, and we talked about it often, is that when these guys know that they may be involved in something, man, that's not pleasant, something that may not be, above the law, why are you traveling around with your family, man, knowing that at any moment something can happen? At any moment somebody can ride down on you, man, and jeopardize your whole family, man. That part of it, I don't get. I don't understand that part.
I have no freaking clue what's going on with that one. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just go ahead, Janelle.
Well, I mean, let's just look at it for what it's worth. Education is at an all-time low. Drugs.
Hey, DJ, Garvey and Nick are on hold for you.
Who is Garvey? Oh,
The
that principal
principal.
Garvey? Oh, hey, let's do this. Hey, let me jump in there real quick. I'm sorry, I need to cut you off real quick, Janelle. Let me bring in a conversation real quick. Principal Darby. Let me bring him in on our conversation, if you don't mind. Let's bring Principal Darby in. Principal Darby, how you doing?
Good afternoon, sir. I'm doing fine, sir. How are you?
Hey, man, it is truly an honor and a pleasure to get you on. It really is. I saw the story.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yes,
thank you very much, sir.
I saw the story on you on Today's show, and it talked about what you're doing, man. I mean, it's phenomenal what you're doing. I mean, it was amazing. And when I saw that, I just had to get you on and share you with our Detroit audience and audience throughout the country. So, Principal Darby, let's talk about it. You're principal at a high school in Carolina, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And tell everybody your story. I want you to tell the story, and then I'm going to comment on it. Tell your story, Mr. Darby.
Oh, okay, sir. Well, I am the principal of North Charleston High School, which is in North Charleston. And my student body and my demographics, about 90% of us below the poverty line. And I have a number of parents who are coming to school for financial assistance, and even though there are other entities to help with that, but sometimes those other entities move so slowly. And I have a number of students who are always in need, whether it's food, clothing, shelter. I've had females sleeping on the bridges. I've had a former student and her child sleeping in a car. When I visit these homes, there are times that mattresses are just on the floor. There are no curtains. I've had a young lady who's a sophomore working 2 jobs to help her mother. And when they come to the school, I just could not say no because they needed help and they needed help immediately. So I just contemplated why not pick up a third job, and not to be arrogant, but I'm also a member of Charleston County Council, and that's a second job. So why not pick up a third job to help those who need help the most? And that's what I decided to do, and it's just to help people when they need help, sir.
Now you are really playing this down. I got to say, you're not giving this the credit and the honor and the homage that you truly deserve. Let me tell you, your folks who's watching on Facebook and listening over the radio. Principal Darby, he's a principal at his school. He gets off of work and he goes home. I believe you go home for a couple hours, Principal Darby.
Yes, sir.
He goes home for a couple hours. And then he has a night job. What time do you show up at work at night, Principal Darby?
I work at 10 and I get off at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Listen what I'm telling y'all, man. He goes to work at 10 o'clock at night. What time do you leave your school, Principal?
I leave the school anywhere various days between 4 to 6 o'clock, sometimes 6:30. It's according to what's going on in the day and the paperwork to do after school. I was doing 5 days of the week at Walmart, but it got just a little much in terms of my doing my schoolwork, and I asked Walmart to please let me do 4, and they said yes. Still a little too much, and I said, would you please give me 3 days, allow me? And I said, I can't ask me anymore because you may tell me just to walk out the door. So I've been working at Walmart since late August, but I've been working 3 days a week, I think, since late September, early October, Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And with the dollars that I make, I donate. I don't have to use the word I because it's more than me. It's my administrative team because they give support, and those dollars are turned over to the school. And when parents need funds, we no longer give on an individual basis in terms of giving them the check or the cash. We now pay the companies or the landlord because we were taken advantage of a couple of times. But when the news broke, I mean, the country has been great just in terms of the donations, Mr. Johnson. Really, the country has really helped us out.
Folks, I want y'all to hear this. We talk about how education in our urban communities are just neglected. We talk about how it's been dummied down, how they are not really giving a lot of resources to our black schools. Principal Darby in Carolina, he goes to work, folks. He works a full-time job as a principal at a school. He leave there and go home and get a few hours of sleep, go and work at a Walmart to 7 o'clock in the morning, then go back to school and become a principal. You tell me if that's not amazing. You are an amazing man. And I'm thankful to talk to you. I mean, I am truly honored to talk to you. I mean, it's just truly an honor.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Thank you, Coach Johnson.
Why is it so important for
Thank
you?
Sir, but
but why is it so important to you to give back like that, Mr. Darby? Why is it?
Because Coach Johnson, others helped me when I needed help the most. I lost my father when I was 3. I lost my grandmother when I was 7. I lost my mother when I was 17. So I had my aunt and uncle and first cousin help raise me. My community raised me. My church and also Morris College out of Sumter. They literally took me by the hand and actually raised me. And so I just want to give back just to help out others as well. But I was one who did not have, and now that I'm somewhat in the lower end of the middle class as an educator, I want to give back to the community and as an example for those kids who are now in poverty that we are helping, when they get into the glory of their careers, they too would say, you know, there was a principal who worked at Walmart to help me, and I need to help others.
I tell you, Mr. Darby, I am so thankful and honored to get you on. If anybody want to send a note to you, just contact you. How can they do that? If they want to donate to your project, your school, what can they do?
Yes, sir. Well, we have a booster club. It's a school-wide academic booster club, which would help with with utilities and whatnot. It's called the Cougar Spirit, and that's what one would make the check out to the Cougar Spirit to North Charleston High School, 1087 East Montague Avenue. 1087 East Montague Avenue, and that's North Charleston, South Carolina, 29405. And Mr. Johnson, but if you let me give a shout out to
Yes.
my superintendent, there's a Dr. Jarita Postlewaite, and my executive director, Mr. Trevor Stroderman, whom I have their support. And Dr. Postlewaite hired me. She gave me the opportunity to work for North Charleston High School. And had I not been there, there would not have been the need of my senior need to work. So I'm indebted to her. There's a Dr. Joe Williams, and there's a Miss Karen Belcher, and also Mr. Trevor Stroderman. They really have assisted with the moral support, sir. So without them, I would not even be in Charleston County to work, sir.
Well, I tell you what, let me say congratulations and thank the ones you just mentioned, every single one of them, for being a part and the support system to you. You are an amazing man. You
Thank you,
are
sir.
an amazing man. And the Demetrius Johnson
Thank you,
Charitable
sir.
Foundation, my foundation will be sending a check to you to thank you for being a part
Thank you, sir.
of
Thank you
changing
very much.
lives.
Thank you, sir.
So you will be receiving that check from
Yes, sir.
us.
Thank you, sir.
I just want to thank you for the hard
All right,
work
sir.
and the dedication, the commitment to our kids. I mean, the black kids that need it, and you're there for them. Hey, man, we got to uplift you. We got to be on your team. We got to continue to support you and look out, and
Yes, sir.
you be an example to other principals throughout this country, man. I'm talking about black men who doing strong black things. You're my Black History Month, focus. So I want to thank you so much, Principal Darby.
Wow.
You really are.
Thank you, sir.
And
I
I'm
think you
committing.
give me too much credit. You give me too much credit.
No, and I'm gonna tell you, you will be receiving. I'm gonna tell you, we will be sending you $1,000 check from the Demetrius Johnson Charitable Foundation to your efforts. So,
Thank you, sir.
So
We're
thank
very appreciative. Thank you.
Mr. Darby. This is truly an honor for me, man. It is truly an honor to have you on.
All right, sir.
So thank you, Mr.
All
Darby.
right, sir.
You have
Thank
a
you,
wonderful
sir.
have a
Appreciate
wonderful
it.
night, and yes, sir, and thank you so much. Wow.
Yes, sir. All right, sir. Thank you
That's
very
my
much.
man, Mr. Darby.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Bye-bye.
We about to take a break, y'all. Coming back, we got Nick Knowledge. Oh my God, Coach. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's special.
Oh my God, Janelle.
Yeah, I wish he would have mentioned. He has a GoFundMe page. He was asking for $150,000, and they raised $170,000. So, and then Walmart gave him an additional $50,000. So, God is really being merciful and
Well,
helping.
he's gonna
that
get
brother.
1,000 from me, so I'm telling you that.
That's
The
right.
big fella, Demetrius Johnson, the coach, and Janelle. We'll be right back. We got my man Nick Knowledge coming up. Right back.
Every home needs a computer in this new age of technology. Get it
when they redline you when you can't get loan, when you can't get a meaningful job to take care of your family.
I'm saying, and I'm looking at history in terms of what has changed.
Let me ask you a question, man. How many laws have truly benefited us? That we got the maximum opportunity to benefit black folks.
We are 910 AM Superstation.
Welcome back to the Demetrius Johnson Show, the big fella hanging out with the coach and Janelle. Now we got our boy Nick Knowledge. What's up, Nick? How you doing, man?
I'm good, DJ. How you doing?
Okay, what you got? Well, let's talk about it. What's the knowledge today, buddy?
So you know what? Given some of the events that's been, transpiring throughout the past couple of weeks, whether it was here in St. Louis or, across the country, just pertaining to, and you guys are talking about it, but pertaining to the deaths of children and, the elderly and these women, it's alarming. And, I'm just curious to ask you guys, I wonder how much does mental health play a role in some of these crimes that we've been seeing and reading about? Because I was reading an article, Columbia University Urban Medical Center earlier today, and it was just saying how the black community is 20% more likely to experience serious mental health issues, but yet when it comes to the solutions and the health services around mental health, we have the least amount of resources. So number one, the first question is how, does mental health play a factor? And then number two, who's responsible for ushering in those resources to provide to the black community?
I'm gonna let you, Coach. I'm gonna let you start with that one.
Really, when I thinking about it as a mental health issue, it only becomes to me the bigger issue for me is it only becomes a mental health issue is when white folks shoot up churches and white folks shoot up hundreds of people, or there's a mass shooting. That's the only time it becomes a mental issue. In our community, when we kill each other, it's never talked about it being a mental issue, which it has to be some kind of mental issue for someone just to take someone's life. Something has to be seriously wrong with you to take a life of a child, man, of a child. Not that you just a killer, but it has to be something really wrong with you. But usually when we have our white counterparts that go into a church and kill up 7 or 8 people, we want to take them and get some kind of mental evaluation on them.
Interesting. What about you, Coach Janelle?
Well, I'm going to be honest, as I was saying earlier, there's a lot of, variables that go into play. Some people feel like it's, we're getting a lot of lead poisoning in our body that's giving us mental issues. It's a higher amount of lead in the inner city areas on paint and so forth, and it affects the parents who are pregnant with these children. But more importantly, I believe that
Hey, DJ, I'm running to the restroom. I'll be back in a moment.
Okay.
gorilla piss, it's almost like a PCP type of drug back in the day, or angel dust back in the day. When these people are using that drug, they are extremely violent, and they don't know what made them that way. They just get violent. So a lot of it, is lack of education early on, and in drugs.
Well, I think the component that we're missing here is this. JC, you talked about mental illness only when white folks have it. You talked about the lead. I agree with both of those things right there. But don't you think, and Jackie Mack on Facebook said it perfectly, PTSD, the things that these young folks are experiencing, there's two components here, guys, and I'm going to come back to Jackie Mack in a second. There's two components here. The first one is when you have lack of resources, like you said, in that community. And the violence is off the charts because everybody is trying to survive off of everybody else. But that PTSD is real because these guys, these kids, these young folks are growing up. Think about this, folks. They're growing up in the drug world. I mean, they mama, these the crack babies that we're getting out now. You feel me? We ain't talking about the crack and all the other stuff, all the other drugs that's been in these babies as kids. Then this PTSD is real because think about it. They are witnessing stuff that the people that went to war in Vietnam when the soldiers came back in this country, they could not survive. A lot of them. They had mental illness. They had trauma. That postpartum syndrome. It was destroying these folks. Now think about growing up in that community. Think about in Detroit where they shooting up everything. St. Louis, they shooting up everything. Kansas City, New York, Chicago. This is a result of all that, man. It is truly a result of those issues that we're having with these people who died. When you, and JC, you said it profoundly. Killing a baby has got to be something wrong with your ass. It's got to be. The guy that killed in here in St. Louis the other day killed his ex-girlfriend, the 2 kids, and one was 1 and one was 7, I believe. The 1-year-old, I mean, not just kill, I mean, shoot him up. Happened in Detroit the other day. So y'all tell us what's happening. Or the black politicians turning their back on us folks? Or is the government turning back on us by giving us all these subsidized programs that don't make you want to go out there and hustle? We all 4 of us hustle, right? We all hustle. So what is it, folks? I'm telling you, it's scary, man. And this is a great conversation. Can we have a candid conversation with Detroit? Can y'all call in and have me a straight up street conversation? Let's talk like we the street without the profanity. We can't curse. We can't have the profanity. 313-778-7600. Let's have a straight up conversation tonight. We always talk about the white man. Is the white man, that's what I want y'all to tell me. Let me know how the white man is putting a gun, is going up and shooting a kid, a baby. Come on, JC, help me, man.
Yeah, I can't. We can't blame and put all of our ills at the foot of white folks. You know what I mean? The resources, we do have a lack of resources, but when do we take some personal responsibility for the decisions that we're making? You know what I mean? I see one of our legislators just put out something with the Congress saying that she wants to give people, before they can get guns, get some kind of psych evaluation. I mean, something's got to happen, man, because these guns are getting in the hands of the wrong people, and babies are dying, man. Babies are dying. I remember what our good friend Jeff Wright always said. If this was happening in the white community, something would happen. He says that all the time. Something would happen.
Right. Go back to you, Janelle.
Well, it's true that some of these mental issues that we're dealing with comes from post-traumatic stress. I have children in my program now, and one particular young lady that was here last week. For the first time, I used to wonder why she's so angry all the time. She's 10 years old, and she has this spirit of angriness in her. And I was like, okay, yeah, I understand we're having challenging times. And then I had her mom sit in on the educational component. And I just was like, well, what's going on? Well, come to find out, her dad just got 20 years in prison. So here's her dad who played a major part in her life. And now here she is flunking out of school, getting in trouble all the time, not doing nothing, and never smiling. So imagine that happening like it's happening with the crime rate like it is. in all the inner city areas that are lacking resources to take care of their families. So these children are experiencing traumatic issues at an early age, and it becomes numbing to them after they reach that grown age. They no longer care. Then you couple that with the drugs that they're using, which, again, these drugs is now being dipped. It's not the same as before. You got 12 and 13-year-old children using drugs and taking pictures, and then you got this immediate instant gratification on social media, where now you're watching someone live stream kill somebody.
I mean,
This stuff is contagious.
Yeah, but think about that. Hey, Nick, think about that. We've made killing like a movie.
Normalized.
Yeah, like it's something that we need to just watch. You know what I'm saying? Who want to see their family member get their head blown up? Who want to see guts splattered all over the damn place on the internet, on Facebook? You know, it's just sad, man. I mean, we got to, you know, Nick, I mean, I have no idea, man. It is scary to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Right.
All right, let's do this, man. Let's do this, man. Let me take a call. Let me bring my boy Fidel in the conversation. Fidel, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, DJ, how you feeling, my brother?
What's going on, man? Talk to me.
Hey, listen, man. Let me commend you, man. Most hosts wouldn't come on here and apologize to me and James and Redbone and Big. That I want to commend you, man. You a hell of a dude. So let me get that out the way. That's real. Any other host would have hung up on us, told us to kiss their behind and don't listen to us. I want to commend you for being a straight up dude. That was real. I appreciate that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. Because I know I enjoy you guys calling. I know you guys want to call in, but yesterday was just a topic we just had to spend time on. So I like I say, once again, our callers, I apologize.
Hey, man, totally understand. I got a quick question for you. Is this station, is your radio station on in St. Louis?
Yeah, it is.
How do your people feel about us as Detroiters calling in? What's their feedback?
Well, let me tell you that's interesting you asked that question. People in St. Louis think you guys are off the charts good. I mean, you guys in St. Louis are totally different, right? Y'all are different. I mean, y'all more, and, you know, and I'm gonna make some people in St. Louis pissed off, but y'all are more astute callers. Y'all have more passion. You're more educated when you call. You have something you want to talk about. You know, you got something on your mind. You bag it up for facts and statistics. I mean, you guys, it's night and day. The markets are night and day.
Right.
Night and day.
Do this. Tell them to start calling in so we can get input from city to city and get everybody's view. It'll help blow your show up, and it'll be a Detroit St. Louis sign. It can't be nothing but a plus.
Well, let's do that. I mean, let's do it. And then what I'll do, I'll get you your information. I'll get it from my man and give you a call, and I'll give you our number in St. Louis, and we'll get you on in St. Louis.
That's right. I'll be willing to do that. Hey, listen, the subject that you have in with the gentleman on, y'all done said so much. Y'all done said mentally ill. Y'all done said crack. Y'all done said crack babies. Y'all done said, I say, damn, that sound like me. When I say it, I get rejected. And DJ, y'all ain't got no mosses in St. Louis, no temples.
Yeah, they got them here. They got them here. Yeah.
Okay. So only one thing that y'all missing, and y'all already know what it is. Y'all already know how I feel, but y'all do not want to do the survey on that.
What's that?
We can start right now, and somebody can go in that county jail. Hey man, what do you believe in? What do you mean, sir? What God do you believe in? And I'm gonna tell you, the reason why I say that, you got to lead by example. Y'all jump down my throat. If I see my uncle selling drugs in the 80s, and which, by the way, y'all, getting hit all day, all my life. It ain't just started with me. So let's get that clear. Again, if you got a bunch of Malcolm X out here, you're going to have a bunch of Malcolm X out here. You got a bunch of my uncle sold drugs, so I'm going to sell drugs. My uncle, he a killer, so I'm going to be a killer. My uncle been to prison, so I'm going to go to prison. I mean, where are the leading men at? That's just the bottom line. Take the religion out of it. Where are the leading men that say, okay, I set the path for myself. I've never been to prison. I don't do drugs. I'm not a homosexual. I'm the perfect model. And I'm going to pass this on to my son so he can pass this on. That's not the life that we live.
Mm-hmm.
It's only one group of guys that I know that practice that. That's all I be saying, y'all.
But that is my worst nightmare, man, is to ever have to use it against somebody. And so to kill somebody and take somebody's life, as our caller just said, and then not affect you, that's a mental issue. It's a mental issue.
But you know what it is? These kids nowadays, they taking more than 4 or 5 different drugs at one time, and they get a kick out of it. That's just what they do. But this drug and that lead in the paint, believe it, that lead in that paint is still around. You look at these toys they buy for Christmas. Mm-hmm. When you go to Walmart, read the back of them toys where they come from. Mm-hmm. Mexico, China. They don't have inspectors. That paint has lead in it.
Well, let me do this. Hold on. Hey, Janelle, jump in there.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you for bringing the subject matter up, because there's a lot of children killing children nowadays. These ones that are out there running around off this new drugs that they own, that's one variable. But the video games, the countless amount of hours that they're putting in on video games is bringing the world from a fake world to a reality world. There was a crew of children going around San Francisco pretending to be Grand Theft Auto. That's what they called themselves. And they were going around committing crimes accordingly. There's a thing called impressions. Your mind sees X amount of impressions over a period of time. And in cartoons, there were so many in Asia with Spongeball or something like that. It started making people nausea and throwing up. So what's happening now, these children are experiencing all these impressions with murder being and blood coming and all that. So here, when they do commit a crime of that craziness, it's numb to them. So they have no reason to run.
Right.
It's like a movie. Something blow up and they walk away as it's on fire.
Right. So okay.
That whole life.
So yeah, go ahead, James.
I got a question. How did you come up with this topic tonight?
Well, it's Nick brought it up, and we talked about earlier these kids dying. I came out with these kids dying, and Nick wanted to with his Nick knowledge, he wanted to really emphasize and talk about it. So that's how we came up with it.
Okay. Well, see, I tried to talk about this in 2018 when I first started listening to 910. I was told that's another subject. It ain't time for that right now. So I'm glad you got your show. This is why I said what I said at the beginning. If you want to talk about Nelly or whatever, you earn that right. Because without you, there's no us Monday through Wednesday. There is no us.
That's nice of you to say that. I really appreciate it. I don't take this for granted. I'm honored and blessed to be on the airways. I tell you that every night I go off, I'm honored and blessed to be on 910, the Superstation in Detroit. I'm so thankful.
I'm gonna say this, and it's not a curse word. It is and it ain't. A dog shit fast won't shit long. A dog chasing cars won't live long because that dog gonna catch that car tire eventually. A black man and a black woman pulled over by the police won't live long. Now, I know you won't figure that out, but I'll tell you in a week what I mean by that.
Yeah, you do that.
And
yeah,
have a good night.
You have a good night too. I have no idea, Nick. What was you meaning on that one, Nick?
Yo, listen, he said we'll find out in a week. I'm just gonna patiently wait.
No, I ain't gonna patiently wait. Come on, you're supposed to be dissecting that. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to dissect that, man.
Hey, DJ.
Yo, Coach.
I had a question, and I guess this is a question to everybody on here tonight. Let's look at rural poor America, where poor whites live. Do they have the same access to drugs and heroin and PCP as our young people do? And are they killing each other like our kids are?
Start with you, Janelle.
Say,
let's start with Janelle, and then we're going to come to you, Nick.
Well, first of all, it don't make the news like we do. Second of all, they're buying their drugs in the black area. A large portion of them don't have the same availability because their business skills is not as suave as the business skill in the inner city. These kids have some seriously unique business skill, even though it's an illicit trade. You will find in the hood that these clear brothers and sisters is coming to buy them drugs in the hood. Do they go back and use it? Yeah, they do. Do they go back and kill one another like that? If they do, you're not going to know about it because they don't write about that. They don't read.
I can see that.
You don't hear about it.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Go ahead, Nick. Your thought on it.
Same thoughts, DJ. Is that it's not going to make them. It's not going to make the news. It's not mainstream media. And I believe that even when you look at the killing and the dope selling is now a part of our culture through hip hop music and everything like that. So it's almost cool. It's almost a badge of honor to be engaged in certain activities. And whenever you look at the economically stricken white America, it's not necessarily a part of their culture. It's not necessarily cool to be a part of X, Y, and Z. But again, it's not going to make mainstream media regardless.
Let me try to. I don't want to take another call because I got my man coming on, Brian, and I want to give him a little time. I don't want to cut Brian off, Big Joe, or Brother Bay. I want them guys to be able to get some words in. So we got a commercial coming up in a couple of minutes. So guys, just hold on because I don't want to have you holding on over the commercial break. I guess I can bring you on and bring you over the commercial break, but we'll hold you on for a minute, and my man Rico. So just hold on, guys. I'm going to come to you in a minute when we come from the break. But let me just say this. I agree with Janelle. Janelle made a good point. They're not reporting it at the rate that we know things are happening. However, I don't see no mass murdering like we're having in the urban areas that we do in the rural areas. I'm sure down in Biloxi somewhere in Mississippi, them hilly-billy towns, and up in Michigan and Detroit and Illinois and Missouri, I'm sure it's happening. But I don't think it's happening at the alarming rate that is happening here. I don't think 200 plus black people has been killed in those rural areas in 1 year. I don't think in the rural areas like it is in Chicago, 100 people were shot on the weekend. I don't think it's happening at that level. I know it's happening, but I'm sure don't believe it's happening at that level, guys. And that's the thing I'm talking about. Does it happen in the communities? Hell yeah. I mean, the drugs are off the charts, but the murder is off the charts in our community at a high level. And JC, you know how we know it is not taking place in that level? You know how we know, right, JC?
Yeah, I know how we know.
What did your boy Jeff say?
Shit, they would do something about it. That's my point.
Exactly.
It's not happening at that level.
It is not happening.
It's not happening at that level.
Exactly. Not even close. So these kids are dying at an alarming rate. And people don't give a damn. Uppity Negroes who get money, they go in their little homes out in their suburban areas, don't come back and do nothing. Don't give nothing back. And we, Janelle got an interesting story. When we come back, we're going to have Taylor Tate coming back. But after we do our take, we're going to take calls along with our take. But I'm going to tell you what, man. It's going to be interesting to hear his story. He's from L.A. He came to St. Louis. Wait to hear that story. When you're talking about people making an impact in the community, we got to stand up because black men have turned their back on our black community. That's why we don't have the respect. Why do y'all think white men don't respect us? Because we don't fight and protect and serve our community like they do theirs. And I give them credit. Because guess what? They're not going to let you bring nonsense in their community. They're not going to have it. They're not sitting up here talking about we're not going to snitch. That ain't happening. Only Negroes do that. Only Negroes sit up here talking about we ain't going to snitch and they done killed up a whole community. But when it's theirs, you want everybody to talk. Be real. Hey, Nick, thanks for the knowledge, man. We'll talk to you next week, Doc.
Appreciate y'all.
All right, hey, coming back, man, we're going to have my girl Taylor Tate, and then we're going to have some calls, man. I got my boys on. We lined up. Holler at us, y'all. We're going to take calls tonight. 313-778-7600. The big fella, the coach, and my man Janelle. Holler at your boys. Right back.
Detroit Soul, voted top 5 best soul food restaurant in Metro Detroit by Vote for.
We got Brian, Big Joe, and we got Brian, Big Joe, Brother Bay, and Rico.
Yep.
All right, good. Let me know. You can just put Taylor in. Hey, did we get that Blind City in there today?
Yeah, that's it. 9. Oh, my man just called himself 8 Mile.
Oh, he's 8 Mile.
Yeah.
So we got a caller calling himself 8 Mile.
Yes, sir.
Boy, Detroit's off the charts. Excuse me.
Yeah, we got some characters.
Yeah, they have the charts in Detroit. Okay, so we got Brian, Big Joe, Brother Bay, Rico, and 8 Mile.
Got it.
All right. How much time we got?
You got about 3 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, to see what I have to do, I got to go to break a little bit early to make sure I get to a spot in.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, we just got a little bit more time this time because I have to adjust the break times in order to make sure I get to a spot in.
Okay, no, it's good. That's cool. I'm talking to my mic. I'm gonna see if my people on Facebook can hear me while I'm talking. Hey, Bianchi, can you hear me right now? If you can, tell me you can hear me or not. Cause I like to talk when I'm off the air. I like to talk to my Facebook family when I'm off the air, but to see if you guys can still hear me through my mic. Can you still hear me through my mic? So, Bianchi, can you hear me? If you hear me, just post it. Tell me you can hear me, or somebody can post it say they can hear me. Because I want to see if you guys can still hear me. Because I like to have conversation with y'all off the air, too. You know what I'm saying? When I'm not doing our commercial break, we still can have our commercial. Okay. So what I'm saying, Bianchi, hey, thank you, Sydney. Appreciate it. All right. Thank you, my man, Bianchi. Hey, so this is what I'm saying, folks. So what do we do with all this violence? You know what I'm saying? I mean, the violence is off the chart. Now, are the women are... let me ask you. I'm not going to touch that, Bianchi. Quit it. I know that I don't know what I'm doing half the time. That's why we got people that does this. But this is my question: How do you explain what's happening now? I want some ladies to call in? Can you? Are you telling me that you cannot identify? Y'all cannot identify these crazy ass men and don't deal with them? And you still dealing with these folks, and they killing folks. And I know mental illness probably plays a big part in our community, but who's going to stand up and say it's a mental illness situation? You know what I'm saying? I mean, we look at mental illness, autism, different handicaps and disabilities as a taboo. rather than embracing it and trying to do something to help it get better.
Or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov.
Somebody tell me that.
Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
WFDF Farmington Hills, Detroit, 910 AM Superstation, a division of Adele Media.
Welcome back to the Demetrius Johnson Show, the big fella hanging out with the coach and my man Janelle. Do we have our girl Taylor on yet? Let me know when we got Taylor on now, Mike, so we can get her take. All right, big fella?
I got you.
All right, thank you. Let's go back to our conversation. You know what? Let's go and talk to my man Brian till we get Taylor on. Let's go bring Brian in the conversation. What up, Brian?
Hey, man, Hey, man, I'm going to tell you something. You need to be on 7 days. I'm sorry, man. I honestly, this going to sound crazy, but do you know I honestly respect your team that's on? And I think for Dale, I want him to speak on it when he come back on. Man, we can't wait for y'all to come up here, man. Seriously, man. Get downtown in one of the best spots downtown, man. And we really need to kick it, man. I'm going to tell you something. It's about people of power right now. None of that weak stuff.
I got Taylor.
I pray to Yahweh that I don't ever want to have to say nothing bad, not even nothing against none of my brothers. But I love that brother Fidel, man. He remind me of, like, both of us been scarred bad, bro. It's like we need to vent, and I mean really vent, and do it in a way where we can bring knowledge to it. And I really appreciate who would ask you a question like he did. What do the people in St. Louis think? Man, when you did that, I thought about a powerful show, brother. We need some serious stuff. And I want you to hook us up with the Blind Cat.
Blind City?
Or whatever his Blind
Blind City. Uh-huh.
Man, that dude is he is so knowledgeable, bro.
Yeah, he is.
The strength of just his beginning. And I ain't going to hog up your show, man, but I'm going to tell you how deep you are, bro. You literally woke up conscious people. And I'm going to say this. It ain't about 910. We have to have that platform where we can divert to another station because we got some stuff that can't even be talked about on this airway if we attempt to, because them people, them enablers, I'll be damned if this go around, those black enablers that get the promise check is going to step in and stab this. So for Dale, man, I don't know you personally, but I love your dialogue. I love Big Fella for bringing you on. You and Redbone set the show, man. And Big Fella, all your crew need to stand up. Now, I don't care how big you are. You bigger than what you really are, man, because you bringing the real deal. I Believe Records, once again. Fred Who Done It for people that want to know the truth. Yes, sir.
Hey, Brian. Hey, man, thank you very much. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to have hopefully my man Michael can get your number and Fidel's number. I'm going to call you guys.
He got it for you.
All right, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to have you guys on the St. Louis show. I'm going to have you in the St. Louis.
We love it, man.
Yeah, we're going to do that. I'll do that this weekend.
We'll respect the man, and we got, I mean.
Oh, it's cool.
Bigger than that, man.
Oh, yeah, it's cool.
And I really appreciate your show the other day, man. Hey, no, never apologize. We appreciate you, and I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even like them day shows in the morning, man. They phony, man. Something about 910 got phony cake.
Well, we can't do that, big ball. We can't talk about the other boys, man. We can't do that, big boss.
Now, just getting ready. Man, I start off saying I ain't gonna mess with my people, man.
Yeah,
but
you can't do that, man. They part of the family, man. We can't, you can't mess with the family, man. If you don't want to listen to their show, don't listen to it. Like I tell anybody, you don't want to listen to me, don't listen. But you can't disrespect the family, man.
Well, I apologize.
Okay, I appreciate
that, man. All right.
Thank you, my man.
Brother.
Thanks, Brian. And let's bring in my girl. Let's crank it up for me, Big Michael.
The Demetrius Johnson Show presents What's Your Take with Taylor. Each week, Taylor provides a take on a compelling and thought-provoking topic. Her takes are captivating, engaging, and she's always opinionated. We want to know your take. Chime in and let us know. It's What's Your Take with Taylor on The Demetrius Johnson Show.
I got a story to tell.
What's up, Tay? How you doing, girl?
Hey, happy Tuesday. I'm doing good. How are you?
Okay, I'm good. Let's go. What's your take?
Okay, so this is an interesting story. I don't know if y'all seen this yet, but a public charter school in Utah, the school is called Maria Montessori Academy, went viral after allowing parents to withdraw their children from a Black History Month curriculum. However, after receiving public dissent, they reversed their decision. So to give background on this school, only 3 of the school's 322 students are Black and 70% are white. The school is publicly funded, but because it's a charter school, it has an independent board and controls its own curriculum. So the director, Micah Harakawa, wrote in a Facebook post to address what happened. You may have heard some alarming news as our school works to change hearts and minds with grace and courtesy. It's been a tough road as we work to honor and follow each child and each adult's personal journey. Please consider the following public statement as a wonderful step in the right direction. Mahalo for all your aloha and support. So this is the statement. The Maria Montessori Academy Board of Directors and the school director have one primary goal, providing a quality and equitable education to all of our students. Celebrating Black History Month is a part of our tradition. We regret that after receiving requests, an opt-out form was sent out concerning activities planned during the month of celebration. We are grateful that families that initially had questions and concerns have willingly come to the table to resolve any differences. And at this time, no families are opting out of our planned activities, and we have removed this option. In the future, we will handle all parental concerns on an individual basis. We are excited to celebrate the rich content of Black History Month at our school. So let's get into this. To my knowledge, the only thing parents generally opt out of when it comes to their students in school is sex ed. And typically, these are abstinent-only, non-sex positive parents. So to me, equating Blackness and the history of Black Americans to this idea of sex is shameful is really incomprehensible. And if we're being honest, I can't come up with any logical, non-racist reasons why a parent would want to elect to opt their child out of Black History Month. So before I go deeper into my take, what's your take?
I'll let Coach start with this one. Coach, what's your take, Coach?
Well, it's real simple for me. You're in the state of Utah, so I mean, they don't give a. Quite frankly, they don't give a damn about no Black History Month in Utah. And Taylor, I'm gonna bring one better than that. I you know what? I don't have no problem with white folks saying they want their kids to opt out. I have a bigger problem when I hear Black folks like the GOP guy that's running for senator in Michigan talking about he want to abolish Black history. That's the biggest problem. Hell, I expect that from places in Utah. So I expect that kind of language and that kind of, we want to opt out. We don't want our kids to be a part of that. I expect it.
Janelle,
so you know what? To your point, JC, I want to note that the U.S. Republican representative that actually represents the city of North Ogden, wherever the school is, he actually wrote in a statement that he was disappointed and he had sadness. And what I thought was incredible coming from this Republican was that he said, while I have not reviewed the curriculum myself, I strongly believe we cannot learn American history without learning Black history. So I do think there are people in Utah who do value the Black experience and what we, collectively have achieved when we're celebrating Black History Month.
Okay, Janelle, what's your thought on your take on it?
Well, there's a couple of things here. One, we got to go back to the 70s where they literally took Black history out of schools, period. Then they took teaching about God out of school. So for them to say, okay, we don't want to teach Black history in school, it doesn't surprise me. My issue is that we need to teach Black history throughout the year. You can't cover it in just 1 month. I own a church that was built in 1887 on my compound. Do you know the Emancipation Proclamation was in 1878? What year was that? 1887? It wasn't that long ago. There's buildings still standing when we were enslaved. And so people tend to forget that there's a part of history that you can't learn in 28 days. They're going to pick a few subjects, and that's it. So if you don't want to participate, fine. We should be fighting for a bigger cause, which is to teach it all the time so that we can instill pride in this new culture that we're talking about, killing one another. You can't love one another if you don't know about your history and how we fought for one another.
And let me say this. I'm on Janelle, and I'm on all three of you guys' side on this one, right? I'm not surprised that they took that position. Under no circumstances does that surprise me, because history has proven black folks has been minimized or just eliminated in all history if they possibly can, from great inventions, to great achievements, to everything. So this does not surprise me. But what is sad is that a principal of a school, for him to sit up here and he's playing both sides of the fence. That's what he did. To put a release out to say, hey, I feel bad. I feel really bad about that they doing that. But he did it. Guess who had the final choice on it? He did. He could have said, I'm not going to do it. If the board tried to force me to do it, I'm going to resign, or I'm going to sue. I'm going to do whatever I need to do. That's what he would have done. But they take that role, hey, buddy, you're my friend, buddy. And all the time cutting your throat. So I'm not surprised. Not at all, Taylor. Not at all.
I am surprised. And the reason why I am surprised, and maybe I'm just idealistic, I could see why somebody would argue that. But my thing is, when we look at Black History Month, normally we're celebrating the accomplishments and the advancements of Black people, So to me, it's like we're not looking at the ugliness of, what Black people have experienced in America. Generally, we're celebrating their accomplishments. So it's kind of like, why don't you want to celebrate the accomplishments?
Let me tell you why they don't want to celebrate it, Taylor. Let me hop in there. And Pianki just put up a post. Folks, if you're on my Facebook page, I'm going to read what Pianki said, Taylor. Okay? Pianki said, classrooms are diverse today. I want you to hear what Pianki just said. Folks, I'm gonna post this up so y'all can read this. Who's on the Facebook? He said, classrooms are diverse today. There's not enough time in classroom day to cover everyone's history from the beginning to the present time. So then he goes on to say, let me move this up some. What the schools cannot do, then do so in church and community centers. You know what's amazing to me? But they would talk about the Pilgrims. You know what I'm talking about? They were talking about George Washington. They were talking about all this other stuff, who discovered Christopher Columbus, talking about discovering America. But they would take their time and teach that to us. Every one of us on this airway heard the speech about what Christopher Columbus discovered in America. But his discovery was not a discovery, right? But let's just take let's just pretend like it is, okay? Let's pretend like Christopher Columbus truly discovered America. They took time out of all their curriculums, Pianki. They took time to make sure we thought Christopher Columbus discovered America. Nothing about the Native Americans, but it was him. He's on his ship. He sees a couple land. Oh, this is America. So don't use that as no excuse why they didn't do it, Pianki. Please don't do that, because now you're too bright of a man to do that. And
for this school, Pianki, there's only 3 out of 322 students that are Black. So
right, 3. First of all, you got 3 out of 300 plus students. What the hell? They ain't got no Black schools in Utah. Do they have any Black schools in Utah? I just want to know, because it'd be damn if I be sitting there, sending my kid there. Hey, let's do this, Taylor. I don't know if they're gonna come with your take. I know they had other things to talk about, but since you're on there with your take, that's gonna be interesting. Do we still have Brian Michael? If we got Brian, let's bring Brian in the conversation. What's up, Brian?
Yeah, we already talked to Brian.
Oh, I got Brian. Did I get Big Joe?
Nope.
All right, let's go to Big Joe. Let's go, man. What up, Big Joe?
Hey, how you doing?
Thanks for your patience, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think Fidel kind of stole the thunder. The problem in the black community is the black church.
Okay.
And the reason it's a problem is because you got all of these retired teachers sitting in the church on Sunday. They ain't teaching them nothing. And you got all of these illiterate kids in the inner city. The church can open up the door and allow those kids to come into the church and they can teach them something. But it's always been about the dollar. The leader, more often than not, he's not concerned with teaching them anything of biblical sense. You know, we got a few that do the best they can, but the mega churches, for the most part, I don't know nothing about TDJ. I don't know about some of the churches out. I'm talking about in Detroit. In the city of Detroit, they're about that dollar. They're about that dollar. You cannot have 4,000 churches and have dope houses right next to the church, and the church don't know nothing about it, when you should know what's going on in the community right around your church.
I agree with you big time.
Truly confessing Christ, if you truly living what you preach, they're not afraid to do a deal right in your parking lot because they know you on nonsense. A hustler know a hustle. He know a hustle because that's his game. Game recognized game. We don't deal with the issues the way it should be dealt with. What happened in the city of Detroit, white folks came back and black folks just sat down because black men are afraid of white men. See, when you can't look a man straight in the face and tell him what you think, you're a coward. We had the Flint, Michigan, the governor poisoned 103,000 people. You got all of these churches in the city of Detroit. You got all of these churches in Flint. You think they came together? You can't fake love, Doc. If you really ain't got love, that's what it is. You can't pretend. Everybody a bishop, everybody an elder, but ain't nobody concerned with the plight of the people. That's what it is.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna do this. Hey, let me do this, Big Joe. Hey, Taylor. I'm gonna get your take on what he just said.
Yeah, so this is my thing. I just really struggle to hear week after week people bash the church. And, sir, forgive me if you are actively doing something to combat it. But if you are, we would love to hear it. At this point, I feel like I got to hear y'all actually come up with some resolutions. Like, how are you going to solve it? At what point will y'all stop just calling and complaining and pointing the finger and actually do something different? So you're not just calling every week saying something. And it's not just you, sir, but we get the same kind of calls every week.
Let me say this. When I came back from the Million Man March, I started the prison ministry. And I went into prison and talked to the various people in prison. And as a result, now, it's about 15, 16 guys that got out of prison as a result of me going into prison.
That's amazing.
I took information to the various churches about guys that I think should have a second chance, you know, because you got commutations that you can do for people. I ain't getting no real support. They tried to destroy me so I couldn't do that no more, so that they wouldn't hear that coming from no more. I'm not stupid. I knew what they were trying to do. They tried to silence me. See, I don't talk about it as bashing, but you can't get away from the truth.
Well, you know what? And I'm gonna say this.
The Bible says there's one thing: one can put 1,000 to flight, two can put 10,000 to flight. If you got all of this going on, and it's worse than it was in the 60s, something wrong there. You got retired teachers that ain't doing nothing that could be in that church helping these illiterate kids in the inner city know how to read. I mean, you can't get around
I agree.
that.
I agree. I mean, and I think, Taylor, I don't know if it's bashing the church, but we have not held the church accountable. because if we held the church accountable, if we had, and I'll let you jump in a second, JC. We held the church accountable. You wouldn't have that preacher and what was that guy from who went and did all that crazy stuff and gave $30,000 in a basket, and you and I talked about that. How it was phony, Taylor? It was all about him being pretentious, fake, phony, mega church, buy his wife a $200,000 car when people aren't eating, don't have electricity, don't have nothing. I understand what my man Big Joe is talking about. Well, Taylor Tate, thank you very much, and we look forward to talking to you next week, man.
Next week.
All right. Thank you, Taylor. All right, the big fella, the coach, my man Janelle. We're going to come back with some more callers. We're going to just fill the calls up when we come back. Right back.
Visit Central Park Deli today and receive 10% off any purchase when ordering from our mobile app and enter promo code 910AM. Our new menu.
Hey, Michael.
Yeah.
What we got, big dog? My man.
Okay, give me 1 minute. I'll be right up there. Okay.
How long we got, Michael?
30 seconds.
All right. And where you can't get loans, where you can't get a meaningful job to take care of your family.
I'm saying, and I'm looking at history in terms of what has changed.
Let me ask you a question, man. How many laws have truly benefited us? That we got the maximum opportunity to benefit black folks.
We are 910 AM Superstation.
Well, welcome back to the Demetrius Johnson Show, the big fella hanging out with the coach and Janelle. Holla at your boys, 313-778-7600. We want to blow it up tonight. 313-778-7600. You can talk about whatever's on your mind. Let me go and talk to my man, Brother Bay. What up, Brother Bay?
Hey, good evening. You know, it's a good thing that the principal is doing. It's the first time I heard something like that. Kind of take me back to elementary school when we had principals and the preachers was in the neighborhood.
Right.
You know, I grew up in the church. I'm over here on the south side of Flint. I grew up in a church, sanctified church. Mother went every day. I had to go until I was, 13, old enough to do a little thinking for myself. But the church made me strong, even though I'm in the temple now, Muslim. I don't have nothing against the church. Even the Quran calls the Christians people of the book. It's not so much as the church, it's the people in the church. So the church and the temple is supposed to be in you. It's just men who run the church. Some people say, well, don't no woman supposed to be in the church preaching. Then I tell them, well, if you come from the womb of a woman, what you going to do? I asked the guy, you going to tell your mother not to get up in there? He had to think about it. So, that's one of the things. A lot of people, it's not the church itself, because, as far as Christianity go way back before Jesus. Matter of fact, the Professor Gates got something coming up this month on the church. We've been in as far as what we would call religious all our life. That's why when politicians come to us, they come to us in a religious way.
So if the church is still, and I want my two guys to get involved in this conversation first. If the church is still so dynamic in the community, why is our community just deteriorating all around them? Let me before you come back, Brother Bay, let me ask Coach that, and then Janelle. Why is everything deteriorating around the church if the church is supposed to be our stronghold? Coach.
Well, obviously in Detroit, the church ain't the stronghold. I done got that the 4 months we've been on the radio. The church ain't the stronghold in Detroit. But I guess the bigger question, DJ, along with the church, is what other responsibility of other organizations in the Detroit area? Where is the Demetrius Johnson Charitable Foundation in the Detroit area? Where is the NAACP in the Detroit area? Where is the Urban League in the Detroit area? Where are the Detroit Pistons in the Detroit area? Where are the Red Wings in the Detroit area? Where are the baseball team? Where are they? Everybody has a responsibility to be in the community and do something. DJ, right here in St. Louis, hell, the Blues are even in the black community doing things. So I hear all the time about the church, but where is the responsibility of everybody, not just the church? Obviously, the church ain't doing nothing in Detroit. Ain't nobody that came on and told me no church is doing nothing. They just complain about the church. But where are those organizations? I would like to know.
All right, let's go to you, Joe.
Well, listen, man, I really appreciate that thought, Coach. That was a real profound way to put it. We always looking to point our finger at somebody that is really doing something. People, we always neglect to think about what church really is. People go to church because they're sick. They go looking for help when they go to church. That's the whole purpose of it. So I can appreciate the fact that we're asking where is the church, because we're asking that because people do go there when they're sick and they've been helping. Can they help more? Well, you're looking at the church, but then if the church is jam-packed with people, we're the people that are in church on Sunday but not doing church when they leave. You see, that's the problem. The church is being looked at and not the people that's attending the church.
Okay.
If you got a mega church that has 30,000, members, and you're like, okay, you going there because you're looking to find God, you're looking to repent, you're looking to figure out a better way for yourself. Okay, now you're there and you're figuring it out. What are you doing once you walk out that door?
Okay, all right. Brother Bay?
Well, I agree with that. That's why I said the church and the temple is in you. If we go into a building looking for a savior, we ain't going to find him. Now, just imagine this one day, say all the brothers wake up and they go to the church by the thousands, pull a preacher to the side and give him an agenda. I think some things will change. See, the church is full of men. The church is full of women. There's not a lot of men in the church. A lot of them see it as some type of game. And then, I had a woman tell me, well, she didn't need no man. All she needed was Jesus. And I told her, well, who's going to take the garbage out? Things change. So a lot of people going to the church looking for it's something for their psyche to make them feel
you ain't saying
good.
or you're saying they go to church for booty calls.
Well, some people might do that.
Well, that's what I think.
You know,
they going in for booty calls, man. They going to church for booty calls, man.
Well, I don't know. I ain't been in church in a while. You know, I go to the temple. Everywhere you go, you're gonna see a woman. No matter if you're in the church, in the temple.
So what I'm saying to you,
gotta keep it to yourself.
Okay, and my man Andre Holman is saying that the church is the fellowship. The building does not save you. I agree. All right, hey Brother Bay, I always, you know what?
Let me get to this about the neighborhood real quick.
Go ahead.
Now, in the neighborhood, if you wake up in the morning, these young people waking up, and you see them bombed out buildings next to your house, so you waking up in a war state of mind. You're hearing shooting and dogs running. Like the guy was talking about deer. Now I ain't seen no deer coming out the house. I see deer down the street from me because I stay close to the lake. You know, the habitat is being taken by man, so animals gonna be all in the city pretty soon.
All right, come on. Hey, you got to come on, big boss. I got another call. The lines are loaded.
All right, then go on. All right,
hey, Brother Bay, holler me early tomorrow, man. We'll take your call early, big dog.
All right, peace.
Thank you, big dog. That's my man, Brother Bay. I love that dude, man. He got very interesting perspective, and I like that. Let's go and talk to my man, Rico. What up, Rico?
What's up, DJ?
What's up, big dog? Talk to me, man.
Okay, now I just want to share some interesting fun facts about the church.
Let's do it.
And Bible, Christianity, and Jesus. Now, first off, the Bible contradicts Christianity. And the Old Testament contradicts the New Testament. And the Ten Commandments contradict Jesus. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
Let's look at some of these facts. The Ten Commandments state, you won't have no false gods before the Lord God. You won't worship no idols. You won't worship no graven images. You won't lie. You won't covet with your neighbors and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus doing all that. Jesus doing all of that.
No, hold on. Hold up, you're losing me. Who was doing all that?
Jesus.
So Jesus was chasing butt. That's what you said.
No. No, I'm not saying Jesus.
Hold on, what are you saying? Jesus was getting down like that? What are you saying?
I'm saying these facts about the Bible, that what the Bible says.
But you said it with Rico, you said it was contradictory. You said covering thy neighbor, wife, and all those things.
No. You don't know what it means. You don't know what it means. That's what I'm saying. That's
okay.
Follow the world.
Okay, let's go.
That's I'm sorry. Religion.
Okay.
What it means to covet with your neighbors is like, say, your friend over there. Well, you don't say your friend over there got something, right? And you run around and tell everybody it's yours. And then try to lift it off of them and claim it as yours. That's covenant. What's your neighbor? You stealing. It's more stealing.
So you're saying, hold on. Let me get understanding now. Now, I'm not no biblical scholar. I'm going to bring my other two guys into this one. So you're saying cover thy neighbor, not to cover thy neighbor. Cover thy neighbor meaning don't steal none. That's what you're saying? Don't take from them?
Yeah, you cannot cover what's your neighbors.
Okay, hey, Coach.
If you cover what's your neighbors,
okay, Coach.
Then you would say, you would proclaim some deed or some proclaiming of somebody else to be your own.
Okay, got you. Okay. Okay, so like Coach, so Rico, so cover thy neighbor don't mean hanging out with his wife. That's what we're saying.
No, they do. They mean that too.
Okay, JC, hold on. I got one of my guys. Hold on. JC, bring it on in. Help me out, biblical scholars. You and
I see what he's saying, but I'm trying to see how he tying this. What's this got to do with the black church being in the community? What all this biblical thought that we're talking about? What does that got to do about the church? Wait a minute, hold up. People are coming on every night saying the church ain't doing nothing. Obviously, you're a man of God and you're in church.
I want people in Detroit speaking up. I want you to come and defend the churches in Detroit because they saying the churches ain't doing nothing in the community. All what you talking about.
So hold on.
No, you got to forget.
Go ahead.
Remember what Steve Harvey said that we not that important as people. You know why we not that important as people? So we not that good for people.
Hold on.
Nobody is.
Hold on. Slow down for me, Rico. What are you saying now about we're not what people?
Look, Steve Harvey, because I had a problem saying this, but look, Steve Harvey said that we not that important as people. The reason we not that important as people is because people are not that good of people.
What was Steve Harvey meaning by we're not that important as people? What do you mean by that? I mean, who the hell to give him the right to say what people are?
Narrative.
Okay. All right. Hold on, Rico, because you got me going now about Big Boss. I need you to jump in there, Janelle. What was he talking about?
Well, I'm going to be honest, man. It's a little confusing. That's why dudes like Teflo Dollar and all these other guys can come in and get over.
I'm telling you why we don't eat at church.
Hold on,
Rico. Rico, hold on. Hold on, Rico. We're going to let you talk.
Because if you don't know what you're talking about, if you can't go in there and quote scripture and understand the real logic behind that, that's not what scripture says. If you know, it says, do not covet. In other words, it's a known fact. It doesn't say what you said, but this is how a lot of times people don't understand God's word to the people because of the people that are the gatekeepers are giving one an interpretation that doesn't mean what they're talking about. Now, Rico going around expressing that and having love for people and people love him, he can be spreading false ghost gossip. And then that gospel, I should say, excuse me. And that's how come you have these pastors like, what's his name, who was messing with the boys underneath the church before he, went up there. I mean, but there's a lot of churches out there that are really making a difference in people's lives. And the focus point is go back to what my brother said. We're focusing on what can the church bring to the communities. And we're focusing on not just the churches, but all these organizations that exist.
All right.
And speaking of which...
Well, let's do this. Let's do this. Hold on, because we're running out of time. All right, Rico, go ahead and finish up for me, Rico.
They shooting their parishioners. They beat on them.
They beating on the parishioners. Hold up. They beating on. Hold up, Rico, come on. Hey, Rico, hold on, Jimmy. Hold up, JC. Rico, how old are you?
I'm 38.
Okay. Now you saying they beating on the parishioners?
Yeah, you ain't hear in Detroit somewhere up north. The pastor beat on the woman. They beat her all down and everything.
Okay, we're gonna try to find that. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do, Rico. Hey, Rico, I promise you tomorrow you call back. I'm going to do my homework and see if there's a pastor beating up a woman in Detroit. All right?
I just can't be a part of this, man. You want to lie to me and tell me you better than what you are so that I can give you some money that you don't deserve?
I understand. I mean, there are some jack legs and jank leg preachers now. There are. I know some that's foul. All right, man. Hey, Rico, holler at me tomorrow. I'm going to do my homework on that. You saying the preacher beating up a woman. Cause I ain't heard about that one. All right, Playboy, holler at me tomorrow, man. All right, Rico, thanks. Let's go to my man. Let's go to 8 Mile. What's up? Let's go to 8 Mile. What's up, 8 Mile?
Hey, what's up, my brother, man? I appreciate your conversations all the time.
Thank you, boss.
Little tidbits of wisdom, but I just want to take you back.
Let's go.
A few years.
Let's go.
Almost 80.
Oh, that's great. That's a blessing.
I was coming up. There was a church probably every 4 miles. You could leave your windows, your doors, your cars open, purses on the porch.
Right.
With no problem. Now it's a church on every doggone corner, and you can't leave a bag of chips sitting on top of your car. So I just want to say, man, not until you get rid of these churches that's in it for the money, that's not doing what Jesus said, hey, get rid of that crap and follow me. You know
But let me
what I'm
ask you a
saying?
question.
Because we know-
Hey, Mr. 8 Mile, let me ask you a question. You're almost 80 years old?
Yes, I am.
And let me say something, Mr. 8 Mile. I'm honored and thank you that you called, and I'm really thankful for that. But let me say this, though. When you identify that situation, you got to be able to stand on that situation. And I take your wisdom, being almost 80 years old, that you've been around, you've seen a lot, and I can truly appreciate what you're saying. You're 100% right.
Okay.
We got to be more conscientious on what's happening. You know what I'm saying, Mr. 8 Mile? We got to do that, because I can truly appreciate you being almost 80 years old.
These churches that's phony.
Yes, I agree.
You got to run them out of Detroit.
I agree, Mr. 8 Mile. But they,
What they're doing is they're poisoning these young people's minds that's already poisoned. I mean, if you notice, man, back in the 70s and the 80s, every game that came out with for our youth was nothing but killing and shooting the opposite person.
Hey, Mr. 8 Mile, can you do something for me?
Desensitizing us
Right.
to death.
I agree. Could you do something for me, Mr. 8 Mile?
What is it?
You call me again tomorrow, right? Soon as you call in, I don't care what I'm doing, I'm going to stop and get you on. Because you know what? I appreciate you. I'm going to recognize you and recognize you as Black History Month. For a young man like you, close to 80, about to turn 80, it is an honor to hear your voice. And I want you to call me tomorrow. Okay, Mr. 8 Mile?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
My uncle's 98. You need to hear him, too.
Yeah, call him, but put him on the phone tomorrow with me, Mr. 8 Mile. I want to get 8 Mile, and I'll get 8 and 9 Mile tomorrow. That cool? Let's do that. Thank you, Mr. 8 Mile. I appreciate your call, man. Just honor. All right, let's go and talk to my man, Al. What up, Al?
I was gone. You can go to Redbone.
Let me go to my baby. This is my baby, y'all. So don't be hating. This is my girl. I'm in love with her. Never seen her, but I'm in love with her. Can I be that way? I am. Let me bring my girl, Redbone. What up, Bone?
Hey, baby, how y'all doing?
We doing good. How you doing?
Man, I was trying to get, I wanted the mayor to come on because he straight up tried to clown Redbone talking about I pay $3 for a pack of toilet paper, but I have self-hate. I love myself, okay? And I love my people, okay? So I want the mayor to hear that. Don't come for me unless I call for you, okay?
The mayor, you talking about Dugan?
No, the mayor, whatever. No, the mayor, your friend mayor. That be
Oh,
on your,
he'll be on tomorrow? He'll be on tomorrow?
Okay, well, I'm going to be ready for him, okay?
Okay,
But, okay, let me go.
Okay. He'll be on tomorrow?
Hey, look, I got some ignorant. Look, let me tell you something. And Redbone don't lie. I don't need to lie because I don't care about nobody's feelings. But let me tell you something, no. Real talk. So horrible. So, I used to be a bartender, right?
Yep.
Back in the day. And I went to, it was a mega church or whatever with my ex-husband. So the usher going to come to me and talk about, you got to excuse my voice because, I had that coronavirus.
Oh, I'm glad you're feeling better, babe.
Man, I don't even want to talk about that. We'll talk about that another day.
Okay.
Thank you, though. But, so I'm sitting up there. Redbone got a nice suit on, looking good and everything. Next thing you know, this man gonna come up there and tap my husband on the shoulder and tell him the people was lusting downstairs.
The people were doing what downstairs?
Lusting.
What do you mean lusting? On you?
Yes, I swear for God, this is a true story. This is a true one of the mega churches. This is a true story.
They was lusting on you. I mean, what do you mean? Like they wanted you? That's what you're saying?
Look, the usher came, tapped my husband, my ex-husband, excuse me, on the shoulder, and told him that I need to move my seat because the men downstairs was lusting. Now, seriously, I ain't trying to be funny, but I mean, I didn't sit up there with my legs wide open or anything like. I was mad anyway because I could have worked in the bar and made some money.
But you had to go to church. You had to go to church, so you was pissed off that you can make money at the bar.
Look,
Oh my God!
you know how much money I could save at home. Now,
Oh, my God.
Redbone, let me tell you, I'm gorgeous. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm beautiful.
Hey, Redbone, Donald, you know what? You gotta send us a picture of you, man. You talk a lot of game, man. Hey, coach. Hey, coach. She talks a lot of game, Redbone.
Yes, sir.
Redbone, you talk a good game,
Coach.
Redbone. You talk a good one now. You my girl, but you talk a good game.
Let me tell you, baby, I ain't got a lot.
Well, I know you don't. Hey, Redbone, check this out. Let's do this. Because we're running out of time, right? This is what I want you to do.
Hold on, let me finish.
Okay, all right,
Let
go
me
ahead.
finish.
Go ahead.
Hold on. I'm going to make this real quick.
Go ahead, babe.
It was one of the mega churches in Detroit. I ain't going to name which one.
No, you got to
But
name it. You got to name it.
Hmm?
You got to name it.
You want me to name it?
Hell yeah. We call it like it is.
Perfecting. Oh, okay. It was Perfecting Church.
Perfecting Church in Detroit. Okay.
It was-
Perfecting.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know the man who sings, Winans.
Okay.
Winans. He got that church.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
Redbone sits up there. Look, I'm sitting next to my husband. He gonna tell me the man told me that you were done. Well, hell, them people need to be up there listening to the preacher. I was mad anyway, like I said. They need to be listening to the preacher instead of looking at me. And I was like, of course.
Hey, Redbone. Hey, Redbone, do me a favor. Call in the first hour tomorrow, please. Because I'm running out of time. I want to talk to you about that. I want you to talk about the preacher lusting and the men lusting over you at Perfecting Church.
Hey, I got another story, too.
Okay, let's do that tomorrow, babe. We got to go. Okay? We got to go. I'll talk to you tomorrow, babe. Call in the first hour. Okay, Redbone. Thank you, babe. All right, it's my girl. Let's go to Harry real quick. What up, Harry?
Hey, what's up?
What's up, man?
Yeah. Just listen to the show and listen to the comments on. Did you hear the story about the man who was looking for a perfect church to join?
No, tell me.
He finally found one after looking for years and years, and they told him he couldn't get in because he was a dirty sinner.
Oh my God. Okay.
So
I got it.
If you could find the perfect church, they wouldn't let you in.
I know that's right.
That's basically it. And I agree with the people that say the church isn't, it's by itself to blame. Either your parishioners is on some crap, your fellow parishioners, or the pastor could be running the game. You never know. But the church is just a building. It's the people that go inside it to make it a good church or a bad church. And I think, and last comment, I just want to repeat Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi had a quote of the 7 deadly sins, and they were wealth without work, pleasure without conscience, science without humanity, knowledge without character, politics without principle, commerce without morality, and worship without sacrifice. So if you're not getting what you want out of the church, you need to find one where you can put in what you put in, and everything will be all right. But I think a lot of people, Michael Jackson, like he said, it's the man in the mirror.
Hey, do me a favor, Brother Henry. Hey, this is what I want you to do in the future, man, right? Call me at the end of the show, right before I go off, right? Because you got some words of wisdom, man. You gave me a positive note, man. I feel good. I could use that at the end of the show. So holler at me tomorrow when I get ready to go off. About 3 or 4 minutes before I go out, call in. I'm going to make sure I put you in there because I like those words of wisdom. Mahatma Gandhi. That was great. I appreciate that. Thank you, my man.
All right.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Let's go, my man. My boy. This is my cat here, y'all. This is my little man. My boy, my brother, my man. Love this dude. My man, Blind City. Bring it to me real quick, Blind.
Number 21, the Silver Dome. How you doing, man?
What's up, Playboy?
Let me say this, JC, Janelle, how y'all doing? Let me say this to the city of Detroit, man. Y'all inspire me. You support the big fella. You support his team. That means a lot to me. When I lost my eyesight, I had to find inspiration through other things through life with people. And when I hear the passion of the callers calling in, even the man speaking of Blind City, you know, congratulating the podcast and people tuning into the podcast because you listen to the big fella, that means a lot to me. And I want to tell you this, long as I'm going to represent, I'm forever going to speak on Detroit and what you're struggling with, just like the big fella. And I want to tell you all, thank you, because every day I wake up, I see darkness, but I find light when I tune in to Detroit. Thank you very much. Big fella, I'm out, man.
No. You ain't said the right word. How you do it?
Riva Dirty.
My man, Blind City. You can check out the Blind City podcast, man. Y'all got to go and Google the Blind City podcast. Oh, you think we keep it real? Blind City is off the charts. Thank you, City. Let's go to my man, Brother Lee. We're running out of time. What up, Brother Lee?
Good evening. Thank you for taking my call, my brother.
Yes, sir. Sorry. I mean, we had a lot of phone calls, man. Sorry for the last minute.
You know, my dad raised me like this. So goes the man, so goes the community.
Yes.
And it's not about a lot of big things. It could be a bunch of small things to make a difference. Like on my block, I'm blessed to live on a decent, quiet block, and I keep it that way. When I cross over to the next block over, about a year ago, we had one neighbor there left, and the whole block was abandoned. Me and this guy on the block, we boarded up all the houses, we cut up all the grass around the house. That's what I mean about making a difference in your community. It gives you the small things.
I agree.
And if a lot of men stepped out and did some of the small things, it will make a difference.
I agree. Brother, thank you for the positive call, man. You know what, man?
My neighbor next door, he's an older guy. The little things, I go check on him every other day to see about him because he's old. He's up in his 70s. Things like that. Then my neighbors behind me, we look out for each other. We watch each other's back and stuff like that. It's things like that that make a difference.
Well, let's do this, Brother Lee. I'm running out of time. Call in the 7 o'clock the 7 o'clock hour. I'm gonna get you on. I want you to talk about that, man, because you inspire me, brother. You're my other brother. Just inspired me, Harry. You know, to hear what you guys got to say, and I can appreciate that. So call in tomorrow, and we're gonna talk about solutions, how you help out, how you do other things. That's what we need to talk about.
Oh, okay, my brother. I'm doing some other things.
Okay, call Harry.
I'll be more than glad to talk.
Brother, that's what I'm telling you. At 7 o'clock when we come on, call right up at 7 o'clock. I'm going to get you on there quick, and we're going to be able to talk.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, my man, Brother Lee. I think we got James left. Take me home, big fella.
Hey, DJ, how you doing?
What's up, James? How you doing, man?
All right, man. Yeah, I kind of feel like, you know, what I've been hearing in the discussion, I listen to 910, a lot of people going after Detroit churches, and I kind of feel like the problem is you've got a lot of scarcity in Detroit and a lot of minority communities, and the church is the one, institution left functioning to some degree, and they're kind of trying to be everything to everybody. And they can't do that, but then at the same time, you've got churches that almost have like a corporate business model, which a lot of people kind of turns them off. It's like, is this like a business or is this a church? You've got preachers with business suits and gold watches on and that type of stuff, and it's kind of like it's confusing to people. But I feel like, the problem with a lot of, like Detroit, it's scarcity. Scarcity creates dysfunction. I don't care what color you are or what country. You go to any country in the world where there's poverty, and you compound it with racism, just poverty alone, and you have dysfunction and violence. And the church can kind of tell you, these are behaviors that you can avoid this type of stuff, or, this is, try to do this. But they can't force the power structure to change. The church can't go to the rich and, that you need to share your wealth, less wealth equality in America, better wages, better pay, that type of thing. And they can't force the rich to pay more taxes or pay their fair share of taxes.
Yep.
They can just help you cope in the situation that you're in, and people should realize that like, we'd like to do all this stuff, but we don't have the money to do that. We can give you $50 for your rent, or we can give you some food for the week.
Now, let me ask you this question, James. Are you in the church?
I was. I did go for a while. I went to several different churches, and I kind of got disillusioned with it, and I was looking into actually Eastern Orthodox Christianity, which is a really ancient, interesting church to me.
Uh-huh.
And I never joined because there's even some things with that I'm a little bit, I kind of scratch my head at, and I don't know. But I do read the Bible, and I try to keep up with it. And if people kind of strike up a conversation,
So you got the same feeling. So you got the same feeling of the callers that the church is not transparent, that the church can be phony.
It can be. I think there's people out there with a good heart. They're really trying to do good, but there's a lot of confusion, I think, as about what a church is. Jesus said, "Two or more of you gathered together in my name."
Hey, James, we're running out of time, man. Won't you give me a call tomorrow, man, so we can talk to you? This is an interesting conversation. I want to get down with you tomorrow, so call tomorrow, James. Thank you, man. Appreciate your call.
Thanks.
All right, big fella. All right, JC, go and give me your closing so we can get up out of here. Oh, did I lose him? I guess I missed the lost coach and Janelle. Well, let me say this, Detroit.
You hear me?
Yeah, go
You
ahead.
hear me?
Go ahead.
Hey, we got to find solutions, man. We know the problem, man. We got to find some solutions.
Well, tomorrow we're going to have another good show. We're going to take a lot of calls tomorrow. I want my folks, I told to call early. I'm going to get you in. I am so honored and blessed and thankful that, Detroit, you have received us. You've allowed us to come on your airways and be a part of this 3 nights a week, man. And you guys very supportive. I look forward to when this pandemic break so we can come to Detroit. And tomorrow I'll be recognizing a company, a local black company business in Detroit, because it's important that we can do that. It's very important. Thank you for listening to me. I don't take this for granted. I am so honored and thankful that you listened to me. And I want to thank my man Michael back on the board. Michael, once again, outstanding job. You brought the heat once again by keeping us right. Callers, Fidel, Redbone, James, you guys are truly my family. And you guys have accepted me with open arms, and you've given me an opportunity to be a part of your life. I don't take that for granted. We're going to give you a good show, and we're going to work hard every single night we're on this airway with you. That's our responsibility, to give you our best. I promise you will get it. Thank you for listening. The big fella, the coach. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same station. Lock it in. Let's roll.
Hi,